So this next one comes from Ars Technica, and the title here is AI-generated phishing emails are getting very good at targeting executives. So the story here is that bad actors are starting to use AI or large language models to create very, very targeted phishing emails at scale. So I would say, like, in the past, we've thought about spear phishing emails as as something that was in the realm of a very targeted attack. But what this article is pointing out is that there is an emergence of an opportunity for bad actors to use these LLMs to create at scale hyper targeted emails that are very specific to the organization, to the person, based on their background and whatnot, to do who knows what. Right? I think the point, they're not calling out any specific instances in this article, rather the concept that you can go to ChatGPT or one of the many other LLMs out there and use that to go and create a very reasonable pretext over and over and over again for lots of people, and how difficult that is to defend against, because it's not something necessarily that you can program your email filter to block, other except outside of like where it originates from. But assuming it's coming from outlook.com or something like that, it's going to be really difficult to defend against. And as a class of threat, like, this is one of the challenges I see ahead for us in the new AI world. You can love it, hate it, whatever, but it's here, and the bad guys are going to use it.
Yeah, the barrier to entry to do a very OSINT rich targeted phishing attack is so low now that we're going to see, it used to be, hey, you got to put a lot of effort into this. Now you don't. And so that cost to do this has gone way down. So the way I think about this is you've got to target the goal of that phishing attack as your defense mechanism. So having a robust process of, if this sort of targeted phishing exercise or attack against an executive is to transfer money for this very urgent purchase that's happening in Europe, and so I need you to transfer $50,000 to this, wire it to this account immediately, and that just shouldn't be allowed, no matter how urgent and demanding and threatening the email is. It has to go through whatever the process is. That's the only way I know to defend against this, is build robust processes that were resistant to some sort of phishing attack in this way. But even then, that's only one class. That's one type of attack we see against these. But if it's a typical trying to steal credentials, that sort of stuff, it goes back to, I don't know that we're going to stop the phishing emails. Now we have to target what are the outcomes those phishing emails are going after, and how do I introduce friction or road bumps into those to prevent something bad from happening.
That's right. We got to focus on less on the methodology, more on the perils.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, this is something actually I plan to tee up to send to my executives tomorrow. But honestly, education matters, but I'm just going to be very brutally honest. The executives of most of the companies I work with are so busy, they're going to read it and go, yeah, that makes sense. And then within 5 minutes are onto something else, and it usually doesn't resonate, right? So how do you keep them safe?
Until something bad happens. And then the one thing I guess also along the same lines, I can see this also being used to target individual people too. And so, I've got elderly parents, many people do, and they're already falling for scams that are way dumber than this.
Yeah.
Right? And not that my parents have, but in general, as a class, elderly people are falling for scams at an alarming rate and losing a lot of money. And I'm concerned, this is yet another avenue that we're going to see that happen. And so there's a line of thinking, by the way, when it comes to security awareness training, that you inject like protecting people at home as well as in the office, and it helps resonate more. So this is something to, I think, put into that pile. But you're right. There's not a good answer right now. I mean, I guess you could take the contents of your email and put it into your own LLM and ask Like, how likely is this to be a scam? I
Well,
don't
and
know.
I think some anti-phishing technology tries to do that, but
Yeah.
again, the barrier to entry, the cost to entry to have a very targeted, crafted attack is so low that I think a lot of those defenses are not going to be sophisticated enough.
Yeah. But at least being
So,
aware of the threat is a start.
yeah, agreed.